Hello everyone, most welcome to my channel. Today in this episode I am going to discuss with you one technique of decreasing problem behavior, that is differential reinforcement technique. Now differential reinforcement technique can further be classified into 4 types. These are differential reinforcement of alternative behavior, differential reinforcement of other behavior, differential reinforcement of incompatible behavior, and differential reinforcement for low rate response. Okay, now let's discuss one by one. In case of differential reinforcement of alternative behavior, we select such type of behaviors when if that behavior doesn't occur, we reinforce the child. For example, it will be very easy to understand with one particular example, like in a classroom situation or at home also, it may happen that the child tends to leave his seat or chair frequently and disturb the other members or disturb his classmates in school situation. Okay, then what we can do is, if the child leaves the seat and moves around the class inside the classroom itself, but he is not disturbing his peers or classmates, or at home situation he is not disturbing the other members of the family at all, in that case we reinforce the child. Okay, no doubt the child has left the seat, but since he is not disturbing anyone else, we will reinforce that child. Okay, we will reinforce that particular behavior of that child. That is called differential reinforcement of alternative behavior. Next, differential reinforcement of other behavior, or DRO. Here what happens? We reinforce the child simply when the child doesn't show that problem behavior. We are not concerned, or we don't mind which desirable behavior the child shows, but it may not be our target behavior. That desirable behavior shown by the child may not be our target behavior, but if we see that the child is not showing a particular undesirable behavior and showing some desirable behavior, at least he is showing some desirable behavior, so we will reinforce him. That is differential reinforcement of other behavior. Next is differential reinforcement of incompatible behavior, that is DRI. While using the technique of DRI, differential reinforcement of incompatible behavior, we generally select such type of problem behaviors which is totally incompatible with one desirable behavior. That is, desirable behavior becomes just the opposite of that particular problem behavior. How? For example, the child has the problem behavior of leaving his seat frequently. In that case, our target behavior will be, the child will not leave his seat. Now, how is it incompatible? See, if the child shows that problem behavior, according to that he will leave the seat, and if he leaves the seat, at the same time he will not be able to show that desirable behavior targeted by us, that is sitting at the seat, not leaving his seat. Okay, so in this case DRI, differential reinforcement of incompatible behavior, is used. Like, if the child doesn't leave his seat, we will reinforce that child. And here most important and interesting point is that if the child shows the desirable behavior, that is, if he doesn't leave the seat, he will not be able to show that problem behavior at the same time, that is leaving the seat frequently. That is differential reinforcement of incompatible behavior. Again, number 4 is differential reinforcement of low rate response, that is DRL. What happens here? If we see that the child shows a particular problem behavior less frequently than before, then we reinforce the child. Low rate response. Okay. For example, the child asks the teacher to go out to the toilet and frequently he goes. Okay, that type of behavior can very well be modified with differential reinforcement of low rate response. Like if the child someday goes out less frequently, we reinforce that child. If the child keeps on asking same question or some irrelevant or unnecessary question at class or at home also, mainly for the reason of attention seeking, in that case we can stop responding to the child, since this behavior is not self-injurious. Okay, we need to mind that also, we need to think that also. Okay, this behavior is not self-injurious, not harmful to others, that's why we may ignore him for some times. Okay, then what will happen? He will stop showing that problem behavior so frequently, that is, occurrence will be reduced. Okay, frequency of occurrence in fact will be reduced. Okay, in that case it is called differential reinforcement of low rate response. Whenever the child shows that problem behavior less frequently, then we will reinforce that child. Okay, so this is all in differential reinforcement technique. Hope you all understood it well. And in my 2 previous episodes of how to decrease problem behavior, I discussed in detail about the other techniques, that is restructuring the environment, extinction technique, punishment technique, these 3. So I hope you all enjoyed those episodes also, and it will help you a lot. And one request from my side, that please do encourage me with your valuable like and comments, and do subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.